Welcome to my channel. I decided to take things a little bit slower for this video. So for those of you who are new, I have this stack of coloring pages that was given to me. I am the third person to own these because some of them are pretty unfortunate. I've had these for a long time and I haven't really known what to do with them. You can't really tell in the video, but this one is so old, it's actually starting to get brown around the edges. What I've been doing is picking a random page and a random theme and forcing myself to turn that page into whatever theme I get that week. And today I have this deer coloring page and it's okay, but literally the only thing on it is this deer. I'm making an executive decision with this one and deciding to do a fantasy theme because I just did this wonderful wolf that looked really good, and so I wanted to do something like that again. So I skipped my random wheel of themes and decided to just do a fantasy theme. This deer I'm going to turn into a mermaid, deer mermaid, mer-deer, whatever you want to call it, and I'm going to put the city of Atlantis under the water with it. And for the city, it's actually really easy. You can, of course, freehand the little city if you would like, but what I decided to do was I am making just boxes with columns in it. Some of them I'm making dome shape, and some of them I'm doing this like almost looks like stalagmite, stalactite stuff. I kind of drew a little bit of inspiration from Little Mermaid. But you, of course, don't have to do anything like that. You can do just a city. One of the great things about like a cityscape, it's just boxes and triangles. And if you want to do a dome, you can get any kind of like lid. I've got tons of lids everywhere. Lids from water bottles, Gatorade bottles, pop bottles. They're all different sizes. They make really nice domes if you don't want to freehand something. One of the things I really like doing with this coloring challenge is most of the work is already done for you. You just have to be a little bit creative and turn it into something new. It doesn't take a ton of art skills to do something like this, and it's really fun. So if you like art but you need something new, I cannot stress to you enough how much you need to try this. It is really fun and it doesn't take a whole lot of effort. I challenge you right now, go and grab a coloring page and turn it into some kind of fantasy art. I really want everyone to try this. It's going to change the way you color forever. I did add some whales and some manta rays, added a couple of sea turtles and a shark. But if you don't feel confident in your ability to draw a whale, which is actually a little bit hard for me to try to get the dimensions right, like just do a simple little fish, like even like the little Jesus fish that people do. Something even that simple will look just fine when everything is done. People won't even notice that it's lacking any kind of detail. I outlined everything in just a black gel pen to make it look like it was part of the original coloring page itself. I used my straight edge for pretty much every line because that just made it easier. You don't have to do that. It'll look okay if the lines aren't perfectly straight, but I'm kind of in the camp of work smarter, not harder, so I used a straight edge for everything. All of the lines I did in a purple marker, and I'm going to go over it with just some purple colored pencils to do all the shading and things of that nature, make it look like a purple mermaid tail. I'm using the premium Amazon Basics colored pencils for this. I was so excited when I bought this 72 pack. I looked at a ton of reviews, they all said they were great, and when I went to use them, I was a little disappointed, I'm not gonna lie. They are better than like Crayola, but they're a little bit more waxy than what I think of as a premium colored pencil. They're not nearly as soft core as I was hoping, but they still look great. I just didn't enjoy the feel of them. You know, you don't have to have premium art supplies to make good artwork. It's really easy to get caught in this like impulse buying or just thinking that you have to have the latest art supplies for something to look good. You can use really inexpensive materials to make still a good looking piece of art. And for the scales, it was super simple. Just basically, it's just a bunch of little bows, little rainbows, upside down rainbows. And the next scale will go from peak to peak, and you'll offset them like that. And that's how you get them to look like scales. And don't do what I did and start from the other direction, because then your bows are going to be facing the wrong direction. So make sure that you do it all from the same direction the entire time. On the deer, of course, everything that's low and in the shadows I did dark. So like under this little tuft of hair, made it darker. Under the nose area, I made it darker. And then on the eyebrows, the forehead, the top of the ears, the top of the elbows is where I made it really light, where the light would be hitting it. And I did add some like pinks and purples into the mane or the hair to try to make it match a little bit more to the purple mermaid tail. It kind of just got lost whenever I put the brown in there, so it was probably a waste of time, but I attempted it anyway. I did all of the natural buildings that are used, like with the ocean floor in this blue color, the buildings in purple, and like a mauve on the domes. If you don't feel comfortable doing those natural, like seafloor structures, feel free to skip that and just do a building with straight edges and straight lines. It'll still look great. This art challenge forces you to draw things you normally would never draw that would be outside of your wheelhouse. So if you're an artist and you feel like you've been stuck in a rut, you have no idea what to make or create, you have to try this. So I went over the bottom half with purple watercolor, which was definitely a mistake because the ink pen bled. Of course it did. That makes total sense, but me and my stupidity just thought it was going to be okay. I am not used to doing watercolor on this thick paper. Usually I use it on really thin, like Bible papers. So to have it just really soak into the paper just didn't even occur to me. This did not work out so great. So later I did have to go back over the pen, but it looked okay once I went back over it. I just had to do double work. So don't do what I did. Just use the colored pencil. This paint I'm using is like 30-year-old paint, I swear. Maybe it's not quite that old, but my husband's grandmother passed away and she left behind a whole bunch of paint, and everyone took all the really good, nice paint and left behind the stuff that was, some of it was super watery, some of it was super thick. This paint was old and it was thick and it dries out so quickly. It's really hard to blend. But I'm super frugal and didn't want to buy new paint, so I'm going to use this old paint until it is gone. If it kills me, I'm going to keep using this paint. But it just goes to show you, you don't have to go out and buy a bunch of brand new art stuff, even though it's tempting, because I love shopping for art supplies. You really don't need to do that. Cheap colored pencils, cheap, in this case, free paint will work just fine. I'm not making a masterpiece here. It's a masterpiece to me. I just took a little white paint and kind of dotted it all over the page. Took my gel pen, did a few little extra stars, thought it looked a little bit nice, and a little shooting star. And that pretty much finished my page. I was really happy with it. I thought it looked super cute and whimsical. I hope you enjoyed my mer-deer. Mer-deer kind of sounds like murder. I probably shouldn't call it a mer-deer. Here's the finished product. I hope you love it as much as I did. Go make your own little masterpiece. Make sure you leave a comment of what kind of theme you want me to do next. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe.